Hey, my name is Raymond and welcome back to my channel. Today's video, I'm going to teach you how to make your own homemade eggplant parmesan recipe, so let's get started. The ingredients needed is 3 to 4 large eggplants, pepperoni slices, mozzarella cheese, parmesan cheese. You need olive oil, flour, eggs, breadcrumbs, and for the sauce you need garlic powder, onion powder, salt, black pepper, Italian seasoning, and tomato puree. The equipment needed is 3 bowls, a fork, a knife, a peeler, tongs, a spoon, a 9x13 deep dish pan, a cutting board, a can opener, and a 9x13 metal pan. For step 1, I'm uncanning 2 cans of tomato puree. Once uncanned, you can add the tomato puree into the saucepan. I am only using 2 cans of tomato puree. Next, to get the rest of the tomato puree out of the can, I'm using about a half a cup of water. The half a cup of water evaporates pretty easily. Now I'm adding in my seasonings to the tomato puree. I'm using onion powder, garlic powder, salt, black pepper, and Italian seasoning. Once completed, I'm heating up the homemade sauce on low. Next, for step 2, I'm chopping off the head and the tail of the eggplants. After chopping up the head and the tail of the eggplants, now I'm peeling off the skin. Next, the most important step is chopping up the eggplants into slices. You want to make sure that it's not too thick. Less than 1 inch is perfect. The art of chopping eggplant is to make sure not to chop it too thick. Next, for step 3, I'm washing off the eggplant slices in warm water. After washing off the eggplant slices, I'm adding salt to the slices to remove the bitterness. After washing, I'm letting the eggplant slices soak in the salt bath for 10 minutes. The longer the better. While I'm waiting for the eggplant slices to debitter, I'm checking up on the rich homemade sauce. Most of the water evaporated, so I'm adding a little bit more water. After checking up on the homemade sauce, now it's time for step 4. Now that the eggplant slices are debittered, I'm going to wash the slices in cold water. Once completed, now it's time for step 5. For step 5, I'm setting up the breading station. I'm starting off by adding flour to a bowl. I'm seasoning the flour with salt and pepper. Next, I'm cracking up 6 eggs. I'm removing the chalice of the eggs. It's just, I'm not much of a egg type of person. And I'm seasoning the eggs with salt and pepper. Next, I'm adding in the breadcrumbs into a bowl, and the breading station is now complete. Next, for step 6, I'm breading the eggplant slices. I start off by adding the eggplant slice into the flour, then the eggs, and then lastly the breadcrumbs. To save most of the egg mixture, you can use 2 hands. My left hand I'm using to dip into the eggs, and my right hand I'm using to dip into the flour and the breadcrumbs. I'm right-handed, it will be opposite if you're left-handed. Once completed, now it's time for step 7. For step 7, you want to fry the eggplant slices. I'm frying the eggplant slices in olive oil. Olive oil makes everything taste richer. This pan I'm using is a 10-inch stainless steel pan. I'm frying on medium heat. You want to cook the eggplant slices golden brown on each side. I would cook the eggplant slices for about 1 to 2 minutes on each side or until golden brown. Once completed with frying the eggplant slices, I'm adding in some of the leftover olive oil into the homemade sauce. And I'm adding a little bit more water to the rich sauce. Now for step 8, I'm preheating the oven to 350 degrees. Once preheating, now it's time for step 9. For step 9, I'm setting up the stacking and layering station. First, I start off by layering the bottom of the 9x13 glass pan with homemade sauce. Then I add the grated Parmesan cheese. For the first layer, I stack on the eggplant slices. With the extra rooms, I break up the eggplant slices and stuff it into the extra gaps. Next, I'm adding on pepperoni slices to the eggplant Parmesan recipe. After adding the pepperoni slices, add another layer of sauce and a Parmesan cheese and a layer of mozzarella cheese. You can use as much mozzarella cheese as you desire. I'm doing 4 layers in total. This glass dish is a 9x13 deep dish pan. If you'd like to purchase it, the link will be down in my description. When I was younger, I was confused on how people stacked food like this recipe. Knowing how to do this now brings me a lot of joy. Lastly, for the 4th layer, you want to cover the top with a good amount of mozzarella cheese. Once completed, now it's time for step 10. Now for step 10, you can add the eggplant Parmesan recipe into the oven on 350 degrees for 30 to 35 minutes. Once completed, you want to set the oven on boil to brown the top of the cheese. The top of the cheese browns pretty fast. I would monitor while using the boil setting. If you'd like to purchase any of the products seen in this video, check the link down in my description. Overall, adding pepperoni slices to the eggplant Parmesan recipe is a game changer. If I taught you how to make eggplant Parmesan, make sure to like, comment, and share. I hope I taught you how to make your own homemade eggplant Parmesan recipe. If you have any questions for me, don't hesitate to comment down below. But in the meantime, peace.